All right, good morning, y'all. It is almost 9 o'clock, and we're in the Philly Airport recording a show because I can't let the show die. So sports news, the Red Sox are now officially dead. They lost to the Blue Jays last night, 6-1. I know they already put Devers on the injured list because they just needed to shut him down so he didn't get hurt. Honestly, they could have done it earlier, and I know technically they were still in contention, but the thing of it is like, when you have an investment like that, you don't want anything bad to happen. And if as management you didn't make the moves at the deadline, like, why risk it? On the other hand, you do want the guy to play, and you do want, I'm sure he wants to get his stats. He's probably got some bonuses built into his contract for RBIs and hits and runs, stuff like that. So just happy to see Devers get a little extra time off. Tristan Casas coming back and doing his best Shohei Ohtani impression the other night. So Sox, put them to bed, tuck them in. They're done. A couple interesting things I saw on the waiver wire there, or yeah, I guess it would be the waiver wire, but the Pirates are trying to be the Athletics. Rowdy Tellez was DFA'd with 421 plate appearances. All right, this guy needed 425 for a bonus to kick in. I think a pretty significant one, like $200,000. I don't have it right in front of me, but I think that was it. So kind of shady dealings, and I didn't know that Ben Cherington was the GM with the Pirates, but he is. And, you know, I would say playing the game, he has a good, playing that, like, politics of GMs and executives. He had a great statement, but total BS. Like, if he said he was aware of the plate appearances, like, you're not going to give the guy 4 more plate appearances and get him paid. Like, that's not fair. That's like getting fired days before your 10 years of service kicks in, or getting sent down to the G League, and all you need is 10 years of experience to get those benefits for life. That would be a more extreme example. But Rowdy Tellez, like, come on, if you stuck with him this long, stick with him through 4 more at bats. It's not that difficult, and it's too bad to see. Wish the guy would get paid. So now, because he is really struggling, now the deal is he's gotta figure it out so he can go get paid by a team for real. And this, I know somebody will give him a chance because he's a good bat in the lineup, but he was scuffling, and this does hurt him. Like, it's not helping his not draft stock, what am I talking about? It's not helping his trade stock, his value, but it's also just, it's unfair. Like, you don't want to, bad karma. I'll just say bad karma. So that's baseball. I'm trying to think. There was one other baseball thing going on that I wanted to touch on. The A's. So I'm heading to Austin right now with some buddies. We're going to go meet up. And our one buddy, Aaron, is a huge A's fan, and he's probably devastated that the A's are leaving Oakland. They're going to Sacramento first, and then they'll be going to Vegas after a couple of years. The season ticket holders must be really, really pissed because they paid whatever they paid, $20K or that large amount, and now they don't really even get to pick their seat because they're going to be at a AA ballpark. Albeit nice ballpark, but still AA. So Aaron, anyway, he's going to the last game, which is today or tonight, I think. And then he's going to fly to Austin after the game. Very last game at the Coliseum. I saw many games there, living in the Bay. My buddy Diaz, he actually had season tickets, so he would go. And I think at the time, season tickets were like $400. You'd get 2 of them. Amazing price. It's not the best part of town where it was at, but it was like the Coliseum, and then you had Oracle Arena, so the Warriors played over there in the same parking lot, like right across from the A's. But end of an era. I saw a guy shoveling dirt into a water bottle giving it to fans at the end of the game last night, because for many of them that was their last game in Oakland, their last chance to see the A's. And if you look at the White Sox are just awful. I think they lost 120 games. So I'm impressed that the A's put a successful-ish product on the field, even though the ownership, John Fisher and everybody's just not behind them, just cowardly. Just people are just cowards. Even if you got a lot of money, that doesn't mean you're brave. We're seeing it with the owner, John Fisher. He has pre-written statements, won't address any of these legitimate questions. Like, that's not leadership. The guy just sold out the team, to Vegas, and you know what, dude? Get a check, get paid, and get out of the way, and let somebody actually run a baseball team. But I don't want to make this whole show about just baseball. All right, I do want to talk about football, because I saw this come across the phone, I think as I was landing here in Philly from Portland. So this quarterback at UNLV, and we're in the age of NIL, right? He, Matthew Sluka, he redshirted due to NIL money being quote-unquote not upheld. So UNLV's 3-0, and this all came from, and this is the post I'm looking at here. So this all came from him being verbally promised, I think it was $100,000 from one of the assistant coaches. And so it wasn't honored because the head coach was like, well, I never said that. That was an assistant that convinced you to come here to play for promised money. So not knowing all the details, first I'll say, tough lesson, kid, but if it's not ink to paper, doesn't matter. So you should know that, and your dad and whoever's representing you, y'all should know better. And I think this is going to be happening a lot, okay? Like a lot. People saying one thing, doing another. Oh, we don't have enough money. Like, it could have been worse, but hey, business 101. If it's not ink to paper, if you don't have a legally binding contract, it doesn't matter. Now, as much as it's lame that they're not going to, live up to that, what was promised verbally, and, I think a man is only as good as his word, it's on the player and his representation, usually the family or the agent, you gotta check the stuff out. Like, cross your T's, dot your I's. That's basic stuff. So he's gonna redshirt, keep his eligibility for another year, and not play. So, yeah, we're living in a pro sports NIL world where college is becoming no longer college. It's now professional. Guys are getting contracts to talk about all kinds of products, wear products. Even like Cooper Flagg's a good example up in Maine. He's got an NIL deal with New Balance, but New Balance shoes aren't going to be worn by anybody on the Duke basketball team, because Duke is a Nike school. So I'm curious to see how he navigates that. But they have him as part of their big ad campaigns. He has a personal connection to them because Skowhegan is 25 minutes from where he grew up, so that's where the facility for New Balance is, the plant, and they'd always do these tent sales, and he could get stuff cheaper as a kid, and that was like the big thing that year, go get a backpack, get some shoes. But Cooper's not going to be able to wear New Balance during like Duke games and practices. I'm guessing you can do whatever you want, like on campus or during non-official like athletic events, games. So that's going to be something. I'm sure they're paying him good, but down the road he's going to have to figure that out. And everybody chirping on the internet is saying, oh, he's going to end up with Nike. I don't know why he's not doing that. Or maybe he should do his own shoe. But let me tell you, like, those main roots are pretty strong. So he may stay with New Balance. Like, New Balance has Shohei Ohtani. New Balance has got a lot of people now. So they may just stick with him, and that could be a good long-term relationship. It is about the money, but it's not only about the money. But back to this kid from UNLV. Dude, a verbal about 100K, like, you could have got a better deal somewhere else that was inked, right? Take less money, get it guaranteed, get it secured. This is basic stuff, but clearly, you didn't take a business class at UNLV yet. You should now. That would be my advice. So yeah, just a little business in the sports world today. I'm looking forward to this flight to Austin. I've got probably 3 hours in the plane. Hopefully it's only 3 hours. It leaves at 10:47. So I can't remember what the flight time is from Philly to Austin. There's an hour time change too. And then it's gonna be hot. So I'll get to shed the hoodie, get to hang out. I know there's a big football game Saturday, Alabama and Georgia in T-Town. I was thinking about going, but my aunt said that she gave the tickets to some other people that really wanted to go. She's got a bunch of tickets, so I've still yet to get down there to get to a game. I'm going to try to do that before the Iron Bowl. Usually it's the Iron Bowl end of November. That's kind of the game I go to because I've got a little time, but I don't know. Opening the shop, don't have a ton of time. Sports card world, somebody brought in some cards yesterday and we just couldn't agree on price. And sometimes it's frustrating because I'll throw out an offer and the person just said no, and I said, well, don't you want to make a counter? I said it like that. Like, I don't get aggressive. If you know me, that's how I am. And it took me 3-4 times to be like, are we that far apart? Like, I only offered $100, but where you at? They wanted $2,000, and I was like, I don't even think on a good day I could sell all the stuff you brought in for $400. I probably would make $300 total. Like, some of the stuff in there was really cool, but really beat up. And some of it was nice, but the nicer stuff, of course, was the less valuable. Every day, I'm gonna deal with that. I gotta let people down easy and just, try to not be mean, and hopefully they'll come back. And I try to just be honest, but what'll happen is they'll go to the other shops and they're gonna get some version of what I told them, and maybe they'll come back. Hopefully they will, maybe they won't. I just think nowadays, because the collectibles industry is so strong, I think it's $1 trillion industry, everybody thinks they have gold in their shoe boxes in their closets. And hey, take a look, you might have something great, but be a realist, because the majority of the time you're not gonna have the thing that I think is really valuable. And if you did have a Honus Wagner, I'm gonna tell you, I can't not tell you. And I pointed out there was one card in the set. I said, hey, this is a great card. This is the card I want. But every single corner has an issue, rounded. And then there's a cut on that side. The edges are dinged. Maybe this is a $10 card. Tough thing about that is the eye appeal just didn't look great. So I said, hey, this card in mint condition is $500, but we're talking this might get a 1. Hey, it's reality. Sometimes I just got to be the bearer of bad news. But other times I can get stuff at a good price. I'm working on a basketball collection right now, trying to price that out. And then I had another chat with a guy yesterday about a huge collection, but that's probably not going to happen for another 8 to 12 months. Got to keep those irons in the fire, That's what the business is about. And then I think we're getting some MLB 2024 update hobby in the shop. I got to check on the tracking. That should be coming in the next few days. It better be, because I spent a lot of money. I got to sell that stuff. All right, but I'm going to wrap it up there. I think, top of the show is that Rowdy Tellez. What would you, if you were him, I'd be pissed. 421 at bat, plate appearances, and you're 4 plate appearances away from hitting a $200,000 bonus. Man, that's tough. Tough not to get. I'd be pissed. October 12th, Yarmouth, AmVets main card show. We'll be there 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then a trade night, 4:30 to 6:30 p.m., $5 at the door. Come see me, Tim, all the other card dealers in Southern Maine, and further out, because we're bringing people together. And then Northeast Sports Card Expo is going on at the Expo October 19th and 20th. That's 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. both days. And there's going to be some celebrities there. We're bringing the Heat. The celebs there will be, I think, Patrick Pass and some other guest autograph signers, free autographs. So I think $10 admission at the door. But if you want to get the best prices from Double Play of all, come to that show, because the prices will be different than in the shop for 2 days only. Okay, in the shop, the price is the price. All right, I'm gonna finish this coffee and then get ready for this next leg. Peace out, y'all.